First of all, we have been trying this big government spending plan for the past 15 years. In fact, we got a chart of government spending over the past 15 years. It's gone through the roof. President Obama wants to increase it above that $4 trillion mark. He probably won't be able to. But the fact is, with all the growth in government, we have had this crushing of the middle class. So it hasn't helped the middle class. It's hurt the middle class, bigger government.
Yeah, what they don't recognize is that where does the government get resources? It doesn't create it themselves. They take it from we the people, either through taxing or borrowing or printing money, which is another form of taxation. So they take these resources out of the economy, waste them, and so we have less capital to spend. They also put in the way regulations, which is another form of taxation, which also slows the economy, especially small and new businesses.
And just like spending on government, the regulations have a tendency to squeeze out the little guy as well. Look at Dodd-Frank. We have greater concentration of the big banks now than we did before.
And ask any bank, especially small banks, how many people we've had to hire for compliance. Those people could have been doing loans and loans origination, especially with smaller businesses. Instead, they're just filling out forms for the bureaucrats.
Now, Bernie, to Hillary's point, Bernie's plans are just huge. $18 trillion, over $18 trillion worth of spending on all kinds of different things. He seems to think that the American dream is really about government handouts rather than freedom.
Well, and he doesn't realize, where does the government get the wherewithal for those kind of handouts? They get it from, again, we the people. And his taxes. When you overtax productive work, risk-taking success, you get less of them. Look at France. Under 0.5% real growth since the 1990s. High youthful unemployment, 25%. Spain, over 40%. That's what happens when you have a stagnant economy. Those who are starting out or have the least get hurt the most.
But Bernie is hitting a chord. He's hitting a chord with young people. He's hitting a chord with a lot of the middle class that have been squeezed over the past couple of decades. I think people trust him to say what the problem is more than they trust Hillary.
So he does a diagnosis, but his cure makes the disease worse, having an even more stagnant economy. In fact, if you ever enacted what he has proposed, Bernie Sanders would make Barack Obama look like Ronald Reagan. He would throw this economy from the sluggish second gear we're in now into a full-blown recession.
But finally, is his power in this election the fact that he's moving the debate to the left? That he's certainly moved Hillary to the left. Might he do the same with Republicans?
Well, this is the real danger. Where do we go? We have a huge problem out there with this economy, not to mention foreign policy. Which direction are we going to go? He has moved. Even if he doesn't get the nomination, he has moved the Democratic Party far more left than Bill Clinton ever did back in the 1990s. And the results are going to be that's going to have a bad lingering result. And so the key is, can the Republicans get that positive Reagan-esque message and lead with growth, lead with tax cuts and deregulation, curbing spending, wasteful spending, and a stable dollar? But they haven't done it yet.